Hi, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. For those who have not who just subscribed, thank you for subscribing. For those who are repeat, thank you so much for coming back. I know I'm always showing you guys, some home decor opportunities or some financial budgeting things on my channel, but today I am feeling a little bit stressed. Now, I've been saying the entire year, if there's anything good, perfect, praiseworthy, virtuous, think of those things. But in this moment in time, I'm feeling a little bit of anxiety. Not necessarily due to the pandemic, but more for my kids. And I want them to continue to learn. I want them to continue to grow, but I have no clue how to get them there. You already know I'm in the financial industry, so teaching is not my thing, but I don't want to set an environment where teaching is not fun and it makes them not want to learn anything while they're at home. So I have two surprises for you. I have brought two professionals here who loves learning or loves to teach early childhood education. So if you have anyone who's in grade, what is it, second grade and younger, I think that's early childhood education, then this video is for you, okay? We're gonna answer some pretty typical basic questions that's gonna help you with homeschooling your child. Are you ready? All right, Tanya, Stefania, are you ready?
Ready.
Hi, Wendy.
All right, okay, so let me start off with just a quick introduction. Tanya, if you'd like to go first, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Tanya Pegram, and as my education, I have a 4-year degree from Virginia Wesleyan, a bachelor's, and I also have my master's degree in theology. And I also have experienced homeschooling and teaching in the public school setting.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, it seems like you have homeschooling and public schools kind of meshed together, and that's exactly what we need right now. So thank you so much for joining the channel. We have a lot of great stuff for you today. And Stefania, tell me a little bit about you.
Hi. Okay, well, I have a BA in political science, history education. It was history education. I changed it to get out of school early. Don't do that. Then I have 5 years experience. I started as a substitute teacher after retirement with Head Start and ended up being lead teacher, site director there. Then I moved on, did a little time at the middle school here in Chesterfield County, and now I'm an assistant director of an early childhood facility.
Whoa, that is a lot. Okay, so we have a lot of different education here. We got a lot of different backgrounds. I love it. I love it. I love it. I have some questions for y'all. I need some help. And I know if I need help, other people need help too. So I do have a 4-year-old and 11-year-old. The learning paths are so different. So we're going to do a different video for children who's above the grade of 3rd grade. But right now, I'm just talking about my youngest, and he's a special kind of special. Okay. So I'm feeling anxiety. So what would you tell or say to parents who have no clue on how to teach their child? What type of advice are you giving to these people like myself who are full of anxiety? They're a little bit nervous, but they're trying to get the job done, but they're feeling as if they can't get it done right. So what would you say, Tanya?
Well, first of all, I would just say just to enjoy teaching them. Find out their favorite topic, their favorite subject.
Mm-hmm.
So if they like flowers or math, that's the first subject you teach on, and make it enjoyable. And when you have their attention, you can have the other subjects as well. So first of all, start with something that they enjoy and then expand from there. That's a great way to start.
So you mean we shouldn't start with geometry even though they're in 2nd grade? I'm just saying.
Teachable.
But if they,
Is that what I'm doing wrong?
they
Well, what about you, Stefania? What would you tell someone like me who's a little bit?
I perfectly understand because you're a busy professional.
Yeah.
I'm currently in school trying to get my master's in early childhood education and leadership. So your time is very valuable. One thing I will say is chill out. Early childhood education, it's fun. You don't have to be structured. You have and build on teachable moments as you meet the child where they're at. Also, I would say, understand that there's timing, there's learning time. So a lot of times when in the morning, when the brain is fresh, that's when your opportunities for teaching becomes more valuable. Take those opportunities, start with just reading a book, and it opens from there. Your dynamics with your child determines your teaching techniques. And you know your child, build on that. Going up the steps, count each step. Understand it's 13 steps. Hey, it's a lot when a child gets to 13 at that age. So that's what I would say. Chill out.
Chill out.
Chill out. It's okay.
I have been feeling, I do need to chill out because I do have kind of like a type A personality. And so, but I need structure myself, even though my child may not need structure when it comes to learning. So can you give me 3 tips, the best tips on how to teach early childhood education to my son? We'll start with Tanya.
Okay, so 3 things I would say. First off is read, read, read. I have learned that I would take my 6-year-old, for example, his favorite book, and I can extend from counting how many, he likes brown bear, what do you see? That's colors, that's animal names, it's reading, it's counting, it's math, it's expression. So there's so many things you can learn just by reading. So tip number 1, read, read, read. Tip number 2, I've learned that each child is different. I've learned that my youngest child learns by auditory. If I say it and then tell them to do it, light bulb goes off. So learn how your child learns. Some children learn by listening. Some need to write it out, have them write it out and they can do it. Some may have to listen to music, whatever it takes for them to learn it, that's the way to go. So tip number 2 is learning how your child learns the best. And then tip number 3 is schedule. If you do have to have a schedule and a certain time frame of learning, adjust it with your child. I changed it so many times because at first I would do math and then play with toys, but that did not work. So I did math and take a break because he's only 6. Then I'll do spelling and take a break. Do 10-minute segments. It'll keep their attention because when they start going like this, take a break. So it'll be fun and they'll want to come back. So that's my 3 tips.
Okay, so I'm actually doing 30 minutes, full 30 minutes, but that may be too long for him. Okay. All right, this is good. This is good. Okay, thank you so much. So full 10 minutes or short increments and take a break. Learn your child's learning style and have fun with it. Relax. Okay. All right. Stefania, give me some more.
Okay. She hit a lot of the major points. Yes, 30 minutes is a little too long for consistent learning.
Okay.
But your point was how can you make you a better teacher? And any teacher becomes organized with the use of her lesson plan. Your lesson plan doesn't have to be elaborate, but it can be best for you and your schedule. So if you want to focus on, say for instance, science for that day, all right, well, we're gonna learn some science that day. Your science doesn't have to be right at a particular time. Your science can be when you're cooking. Your teachable moments does not have to be structured. Remember, playtime is the best learning time for someone that is in the early childhood range. That's from infant on up to preschool, pre-K, all the way up to 2nd, 3rd grade. So remember, take the time and don't make it so much structured, but make your teaching intentional. That's what a good teacher does. They have intentional teaching. Also, digital technology helps a lot. It should not be the main focus of teaching, but it can be the basis of it. You can start out with a song about counting and then incorporate that counting song to your course of your day if you want to deal with math. But do not let that be the only source of teaching where that be your teaching tool. because you're missing that bonding time. And that's what a child builds on, the bonding with the teacher. They learn because they like you. And it's fun. And when you're excited, they're excited.
I love it. Well, okay, so I do need to find other ways to teach because I do have specific times today because I am working from home. But even if I do have specific times during the day, during those times, I could be doing other things instead of, hey, get your learning seat and get at your desk and start your activities. It could be more fun than that. So maybe that's the reason why he's running away from me. Just a little bit. Well,
Yes.
okay. So I have gone out. I've gone out and I've bought some writing books on eBay, and I've bought some sight word books. Very inexpensive. Maybe I've paid maybe less than $20 for both the books.
Right.
So what are some other things that I could do that are cost effective? Maybe things around the house. I will tell you, you will be proud. We were talking about recycling, and we talked about, in his own words, what is recycling? Something you can use over and over and over again, like your socks. And I said, okay, let's first start with glass. Let's go around the house and you find glass for me. And so we went around the house and we found everything that he could see that was glass, pointing him in the right direction. And we may have fun with it, the glass is round or the glass is square or something like that. So we did that, but that didn't cost a thing. So what are some other things we can do that are cost effective? Especially since there's some people who are furloughed, lost their job,
Exactly.
They just cannot afford to spend extra money.
Have you seen the movie Color Purple? Remember when Nellie was teaching Silly and she wrote those words on a piece of paper and she put them all over where the words were said. She put door, she put the word door on there. Same thing goes for early childhood. Write your words down on a piece of paper. Use the big D, the door. They're recognizing the word. You're teaching them how to read. You're setting higher goals, and you're making it fun. Recall those words. That's a suggestion I would have.
That is a good one. Any suggestions for you, Tanya? I see you have things already up in the background, so I guess you're already enjoying the Color Purple movie.
Yeah.
It was actually a great idea. And also, too, I realized at one point I was focused on the math, the 2 + 2, the 1 + 1. I said, you know what? I read a book and he just started coloring. I said, wait a minute. Art, coloring while I'm reading. He's getting the reading comprehension and I'm asking him questions. So instead of making him sit down to listen to me and tell me the answers back, he's coloring. I said, what's the title? He'd color and say the title. Or what's the story about? What's their name? And he was saying this to me and coloring at the same time. So sometimes just doing things, coloring with markers or crayons, making art or drawing something, that's another way as well, because they're doing something constructive instead of, him being on the like YouTube or something like that. So
Okay.
definitely include art.
I like that, her questioning. You have to ask open-ended questions when you're dealing with
Yes.
I love young babies. Your questions cannot be direct. They need to be open-ended. And then when it's open-ended, again, that's intentional. And it gives them room to form and answer the questions according to how they feel.
Okay. I'm thinking if I ask open-ended questions, I'm very intentional. That's me, but I don't know if I ask open-ended questions. So that's
Like,
another good
if
one.
you want him, you said, go down there and bring me a pencil. Okay, that's the direct order.
Mhm.
You could say, how many pencils are in the box? Can you bring me 2 of those? Or do you know how many pencils are in the box? No. Can you go count them? What do you feel? How many pencils do you think are in the box? Can you bring me those pencils that, who do you think has the box? Well, why are there so many pencils in the box? And then the way you ask the questions, inviting. It makes them want to really think. Now you're asking simple questions, but in their minds, you would think that they are solving your geometry problem. what, when, where, how.
My son is gonna get this geometry.
You can teach geometry. You could teach shapes. You could
Yeah.
teach
How many
sides.
sides of each shape? Yep.
Triangles are geometry. Lines. You take a triangle. A triangle has the letter L in it. Teachable
Okay.
moments.
All right. Well, I'm going to close this out. We've been talking for a while, but this was great information. I hope everyone got something out of it. But we're going to close out with something a little bit fun. Tell me a funny story that's occurred when you have in your teaching experience. What's happened? There's something to make us laugh. We need laughter right now. We need something to make us smile. So what's happened that was really cute or really funny as you were teaching some of your kids?
Well, a funny story right quick. It was out of the blue. As I said, my 6-year-old likes the story, The Brown Bear, What Do You See? And it's a rhyming book. Kids just love this book. So I was reading it, and then my 6-year-old started beatboxing to it, and then my 11-year-old was banging on the table, and so we made it a rap song, and it was like we've been doing it ever since. So yeah, brown bear, what do you see? And
Hey.
they love it. So that's my funny story.
That's all right. Well, I could say we have to visit the classroom and make sure the ratios are counting, because the class size ratio is important. So I was going in and we were talking about being intentional, and I asked questions, and we were talking about counting. And they got so involved. I had sat down, I've been in this classroom too long, but I sat down and joined the kids. And then they began to count the moles on my face. I said, and I didn't want to stop the teachable moment.
Ooh.
But when they started counting them like by twos, I politely got up because I became offended. Those are 2 moles. 1 to 2 and 4, that's 4. No, they're not. So they started to argue about which side had the most moles.
The beauty specs on your face. We're gonna call them beauty specs.
So, I took that L, but I was happy that they were able to identify the moles. And then I asked them, can you point to some things on your face? And where is your nose? Well, do you have moles? No, but you do. And so make it a teachable moment.
They're very honest at this age. I will
Yes.
Very
I will say that.
honest.
Well, I will tell you this. Thank you so much for coming. And for those of you all who didn't know, and just a little surprise for you at the end, these are my biological sisters. So I thank them so much for joining us, but they are true professionals in this room. And they haven't heard any of my stories about how I'm trying to teach my son or their nephew. So literally, I truly am learning I was learning as they were talking right here at this moment. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. They will be happy to answer, or they can tell me the answer and I'll reply back to you. But thank you so much. I hope this is something that you enjoyed. Again, thank you so much for watching, and come back soon. Peace.
Bye.